It's okay not to know what's next. Sometimes when God calls us, we expect that He tells us step by step about what's going to happen next. Like, God, I want to know, how you're going to make me what you said you're going to make me. Like, I need a step by step guidance. But I've come to understand that, the reason God doesn't give us all the details when He calls us is because He wants us to trust Him on every step. Because when we know from the beginning how we're going to reach the end, then we're not going to trust Him. We're not going to stay in His presence. We're not going to seek Him because we feel like, oh, I know how to get to the end, so I'm just going to do it, and deceive ourselves that God either has approved it or God is with us because He told us, what He was going to do or is going to do in our lives. So sometimes it's okay not to know the end. It's okay not to know what tomorrow holds, because every day is an opportunity for God to, walk with us. I think what's important to God is our hearts and our relationship more than what giftings He's placed in us or the call that He's put upon our lives. So every day, instead of worrying about how we're going to get to our final destination, maybe each day it is important to just figure out how we're going to walk with God and how we're going to please God in every circumstance. The relationship is more important than your gift. The relationship with Him every day is more important than, the destination that you're going. So it's okay. Don't let that make you anxious. Don't let that scare you. Don't let that make you feel like you're lost. Sometimes it may feel like you're lost, but God is with you. God called you not because He thinks that you have the capabilities to necessarily fulfill His will concerning your life. He qualifies the ones that He called. So it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with God. So why don't we just continue to trust Him instead of trying to lean on our own understanding, trying to do it with our own strength? It was never about us. It's about Jesus. It's about the finished work of Jesus on the cross of Calvary. So I'm just here to encourage somebody today. If you've been struggling, with just trying to figure out, sometimes it feels like you're lost. Sometimes it feels like things are not moving the way you want it to. I just want to encourage you that God is with you. God has never failed you. God will never leave you. He just wants you to trust Him every single day, every step of the way. Trust Him. Every step you take, trust Him. Seek Him. Allow Him to lead you. Allow Him to order your step. Don't try to do it with your own strength, because you would fail. Okay? Every day, make it a conscious effort to seek the Lord, to spend time in His presence and allow Him to align His will concerning your life to your desires. Sometimes, we want to rush ahead of God because we feel like we know better, or we have, better ways to get to the destination. But God has the best plan. God has the best, results. He has given us a track record that those that depend upon Him will never ever fail. So trust Him. It's okay if you don't know. Oftentimes, especially when you compare your journey with other people, it feels as if, people are ahead of you, people that perhaps, maybe you started the journey before them. It may look like they're ahead of you, but everybody's journey is different. Your walk with God is different from the next person. So don't compare yourself to somebody. Don't feel like you're failing just because it looks like somebody is ahead of you. Especially don't allow social media to fool you. There's a lot of things on social media that is not real, okay? A lot of times we all put our best foot forward. We all present ourselves in the best light. It's not mean that everybody is living the best life, out there. People are struggling, but when we come online, we sometimes all want to make it look as if our lives is all dandy, but it's not. So be content in your experiences. Be content with God in where you are in this season, and know that as far as you trust Him, as far as you put your trust in Him, He will never fail you. He has never failed you. He has never failed you, and He's not going to do that now. So whenever you attempt to think, or whenever the devil is trying to speak into your mind to tell you that, You see, God has left you. Remind Him that you are fully rooted in Christ Jesus. Never forget that Jesus is always the reason. Don't let that go over your head. Shalom.